Remember that cute desert vacation Shailene Woodley and Lucas Bravo posted back in April? Yeah, well, those pictures are gone. Completely wiped from existence. And trust me, when celebrities start deleting relationship evidence, that's when you know things got messy. But here's the kicker. This isn't just your typical Hollywood breakup story. There's something way deeper going on here that nobody's talking about, and I'm about to blow your mind with what I discovered. So picture this. 5 months ago, we're all swooning over these two lovebirds posting the most aesthetic desert photos you've ever seen. I'm talking Coachella vibes, Salvation Mountain backdrop, the whole influencer dream. Lucas Bravo, the French heartthrob from Emily in Paris, basically announced to the world that he was head over heels for our girl Shailene. And honestly, I was here for it. After everything Shailene went through with Aaron Rodgers, and don't even get me started on that drama, seeing her happy again was like watching your best friend finally find someone decent after a string of total disasters. But wait, there's more to this story that'll change everything you think you know about celebrity relationships. The timeline here is absolutely wild. April 30th, Lucas drops these gorgeous photos. We're talking professional level photography of them at Stagecoach Festival, looking like they stepped out of a country music video. Everyone's commenting heart emojis, the fan pages are going crazy, and I'm genuinely thinking, finally, Shailene found her person. Fast forward to now, and boom, relationship over. Sources close to them are saying they called it quits. But here's what's really interesting. While most breakups in Hollywood come with messy social media drama, leaked texts, or bitter interviews, these two, radio silence. And that tells me something huge that I'll reveal in just a second. You see, I've been following Shailene's career since The Secret Life of the American Teenager. Yeah, I'm that old. And there's a pattern here that most people are completely missing. This woman doesn't do anything without deep intention. Remember when she lived in a trailer, when she went off-grid for months, when she got arrested protesting the Dakota Access Pipeline? Shailene Woodley operates on a completely different level than your average Hollywood actress, and I think that's exactly what caused this breakup. Here's where it gets really interesting, and you're not going to see this analysis anywhere else. While their relationship was imploding behind the scenes, Shailene was over at the Venice Film Festival promoting her new movie, Motor City, on August 31st. Now, most actresses going through a fresh breakup would be posting cryptic quotes about healing and moving on, but not Shailene. She was out there giving interviews that, when you really listen to them, reveal everything about why this relationship couldn't work. She talked about how we all see the world through the lens in which we've experienced it, and how dangerous it is for us to decide how the audience should feel. Now, on the surface, she's talking about filmmaking, but I'm telling you, this is a woman processing her breakup in real time, and she's basically explaining why she and Lucas were fundamentally incompatible. Think about it. Lucas Bravo is living his best life as a Netflix heartthrob, playing a character that millions of people fantasize about. His whole career is built on being the charming French guy who sweeps women off their feet. He's literally paid to make people feel a certain way about love and romance. But Shailene, she's over here talking about the importance of individual experience and authentic feeling. She's saying that trying to control how people should feel is taking away from their humanity. Can you see the problem here? Because I sure can. Lucas is in the business of selling fantasy romance. Shailene is in the business of authentic human connection. And those two things, they don't always play nice together, especially when the cameras stop rolling. But there's an even deeper layer to this that's going to shock you. I started digging into their social media behavior right before the breakup, and the signs were there if you knew what to look for. While Lucas was still posting couple content, Shailene had already started shifting her messaging. She was talking more about solitude, about finding peace in nature, about the importance of staying true to yourself even when the world wants you to be something else. And here's the thing that really gets me. This is exactly what happened with Aaron Rodgers, too. Shailene gets into these relationships with men who live very public lives, men whose careers depend on maintaining a certain image. But Shailene herself is allergic to anything that feels inauthentic or performative. Remember when she and Aaron broke up? Sources said it was because she couldn't handle the NFL spotlight and all the media attention. But I think that's missing the point entirely. I don't think Shailene has a problem with attention. I think she has a problem with pretense. And unfortunately for her, Hollywood is basically built on pretense. Now, here's where this story takes a turn that nobody saw coming. While everyone's focusing on the breakup, I noticed something else. Shailene's been more active in environmental activism lately, more vocal about social justice issues, more focused on projects that actually mean something to her. It's like this relationship ending freed her up to get back to who she really is. And honestly, good for her. I've watched too many women dim their light to make their partners more comfortable. I've seen too many actresses change their whole personality to fit into someone else's idea of what they should be. But Shailene, she'd rather be alone and authentic than coupled up and fake. That Venice Film Festival interview wasn't just about her movie. It was her manifesto. She was basically saying, I'm not going to let anyone else dictate how I should feel or how I should present myself to the world. And you know what? That takes guts in an industry that rewards women for being agreeable and easy to manage. But here's the plot twist that's going to change how you see this entire situation. I think this breakup was actually the best thing that could have happened to both of them. Lucas gets to go back to being the internet's boyfriend without having to worry about living up to Shailene's standards for authenticity. And Shailene gets to focus on the work that actually fulfills her without having to compromise her values for someone else's comfort. Because let's be real, when you're dating someone whose job is literally to make people fall in love with a fictional version of himself, it's gotta be confusing to figure out who he really is when the cameras aren't rolling. And for someone like Shailene, who values depth and genuine connection above everything else, that kind of uncertainty would be absolute torture. I mean, think about it from her perspective. You're trying to build something real with someone whose entire career is based on selling fantasy. How do you know when he's being genuine and when he's just being charming because that's what comes naturally after years of playing romantic leads? That's a mind game that would drive anyone crazy, especially someone as emotionally intelligent as Shailene clearly is. But there's something else going on here that runs way deeper than just career incompatibility. I've noticed that Shailene tends to attract men at the peak of their public visibility. Aaron Rodgers during his MVP seasons, Lucas Bravo right as Emily in Paris was blowing up globally. And I don't think that's a coincidence. I think she's drawn to ambitious, successful men, but she underestimates how much their public personas will interfere with building genuine intimacy. She wants the successful man, but she also wants him to be able to turn all that off and just be human with her. And unfortunately, that's a really difficult balance to strike when your career depends on being on all the time. Here's what really breaks my heart about this whole situation, though. If you go back and look at those desert photos from April, you can see genuine happiness in both of their faces. This wasn't a PR relationship or a casual fling. These two people really cared about each other. But caring about someone and being compatible with them are two completely different things. And sometimes love just isn't enough to bridge fundamental differences in how you see the world. Shailene sees authenticity as the highest value. Lucas, whether he realizes it or not, has built his life around performance. And those two worldviews are gonna clash eventually, no matter how much attraction and affection there is. The really crazy part is how clean this breakup has been. No messy tabloid stories, no bitter social media posts, no friends leaking dirt to gossip blogs. They just quietly deleted the photos and moved on with their lives like adults. And honestly, that tells me more about both of their characters than any relationship ever could. It tells me that Lucas respected Shailene enough not to make their private business into public drama. And it tells me that Shailene valued what they had enough not to poison it with bitterness after it ended. That's rare in Hollywood, you guys. Like, really rare. Most celebrity breakups turn into public warfare because both people are so used to having their personal lives be content for public consumption. But these two managed to keep their dignity intact even when things didn't work out. Which brings me to something I've been thinking about a lot lately. Why are we so obsessed with celebrity relationships in the first place? I think it's because most of us are trying to figure out how to make love work in our own lives, and we look to famous people as some kind of roadmap. Like, if they can make it work despite having crazy careers and public scrutiny, maybe there's hope for the rest of us. But here's the thing. Celebrities are just people. They have the same fears, insecurities, and compatibility issues as everyone else. The only difference is that their trial and error process happens in front of millions of strangers. And honestly, that gotta make everything so much harder. Like, imagine trying to figure out if you're compatible with someone while thousands of people are analyzing your every interaction and projecting their own fantasies onto your relationship. That pressure alone would be enough to kill most connections, let alone adding in career demands and fundamental personality differences. So maybe the real lesson here isn't about what went wrong between Shailene and Lucas. Maybe it's about having compassion for people who are trying to build something real in an environment that rewards performance over authenticity. Because at the end of the day, that's what this comes down to. Two people who value different things trying to make something work that was probably doomed from the start. Not because they didn't care about each other, but because they couldn't reconcile their different approaches to life. Shailene wants depth.